Hello,
recently.
Washington.
Okay,
That's what
so
it
it's
is.
Well, hello, Angela.
Hello, Brandon.
How often do I call you Angela
Hello.
versus Angie, you think?
Now I can think with the
Hello,
Tommy
nurse.
Boy? when they're they come into a new town. Hello. No, it's Black Sheep.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen Black Sheep?
I have seen it, but I have not seen it.
Hello,
recently.
Washington.
Okay,
That's what
so
it
it's
is.
okay.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Anyway,
Well, that's fine.
how many times do you call me Angela?
Versus Angie.
Boy,
I'd be curious
I would be too.
because I go back and forth.
Do you? I don't. I guess I didn't really notice.
You don't. I asked if it was okay, and you said
Oh,
it doesn't
yeah.
matter which one.
Yeah.
Because what does everyone call you here? Angie.
Angela for the most part.
Angela here. Okay, then I knew you as Angie,
Yeah.
and then I probably call you Angela more just from hanging out here. And
Yes,
all
I
that.
suffer
None
from
of that's important. But
Ange.
I will never call you Ange.
Any of them.
I will
Any
not
of
call
them
you
are just
Ange.
Fine. You can, Brand.
Ange the mange.
It's like I have mange.
It's mange.
Ange has mange.
I don't even know.
Gross. Okay.
Hey, something you didn't know that we're going to share is I thought I knew the name of a skin disease and I did not. Like for years, I did not because I know I have referenced what I thought it was, which I can't even think of what I thought it was for that disease. Alopecia. But I know what that is.
Maybe you like combine the two. Alopecia.
Well, that it would not shock me at all.
You know what else is something they don't know?
What?
For the first 2 minutes of this video, I kept looking over there, even though the camera's not over there.
That's funny.
So if you see me looking in the corner, there's not like something crouching over
There's
there.
a ghost over there.
I-
There's a hashtag over there.
I was hallucinating the camera still being over there. Habit.
For
Habit
those of
is
you that
very, very, very powerful.
that don't know, it's when we have a guest, we move the camera
Yes. Which
over there.
is a worse angle because I kept looking at the side of my hair because I thought it looked funny.
It does not look funny.
It's not funny. So that leads into
Fun.
lessons learned, because this is our wrap-up podcast. This is our last episode about fun, although that's ridiculous because all of our episodes
Every
are fun.
episode's fun.
But the last of this season, where we were specifically focused on having fun and our Fanatics of Fun group. What'd you think of it, Brandon?
Number one, I'm stoked that we had guests on the podcast. I thought that was a great addition. And will you remind me that I have a shout out I want to say at the end?
Absolutely.
Because I don't feel it's appropriate right now, but I just
Okay.
remembered. Okay, so number one, love having guests on. That was great. Two, I like that we had activities put out there. I don't think the list was embraced as much as the vision that we had for it,
Yes.
but it caused good conversations. And guess what podcasts are all about?
Absolutely.
Good conversations.
And that's what we wanted to do. We knew that people weren't going to follow exactly the challenges.
I thought some of our guests might like really throw us off and just like balls to the walls
Go
embrace.
nuts.
Yes, which is fine. Recording, I think the recording was hard. Like it's hard to record
It
yourself.
was.
How do the people do it on social media?
It was also possibly having all the challenges go over the holidays.
yeah, we
not
did
have
pick
been the best.
the
People were very,
challenging
very
months.
busy.
Yeah.
And it is hard to pack more. I mean, I would say for the most part, around the holidays, people already have a packed schedule. And
Yep.
let's throw one more thing on top of it. Might have been a bad choice.
I'm agreeing with the might have been, but just like most things, when would be the perfect time?
Exactly.
Right.
There's never a perfect time.
No,
Every time is busy.
it is.
So that, something maybe to consider in the future.
I liked the psychology side of fun that I learned with the challenges and with your research and everything. So I really enjoyed that as we went through the season.
I did too. And finding out, even when you're not really enjoying something, how much it can still bring to the table and help you learn, and seeking out new experiences, even though, like we were talking about in the last podcast, even though you've got your tried and true that I like this meal, I like this restaurant, I like this drink, I like this sporting event, whatever it is, to go outside and take a chance.
Yeah.
And to try not to get wrapped up in, if the other thing is not as fun as your old standby, try not to let that ruin your new experience, because it's very easy to do. Be like, oh, wah, my whole night's, wasted because I don't love this meal. Or, and also, I would say too, to not be afraid to try different things and give things back. Like Ashley was saying that in our last episode that she's not a cocktail person, and every time she orders a cocktail, she wishes she had a beer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's okay to be like, take a drink of it and be like, I don't really want this. I would rather have.
Yes.
And that leads into, I think, my biggest aha coming out of this challenge. And this is also coupled with, so our next podcast, our supplementary podcast for next season, is my book club.
Oh, I know. I'm not going to be on that one.
I think you should be a guest. It's going to be fantastic. You can choose a children's book. You can choose whatever book you want. But I've been doing a reel a day to promote that.
Oh, yeah.
And so several things have happened here. We got filmed a lot for these challenges as we did different things. I filmed myself making the souffle. So I tried to do that all on my own. And now the reel a day, and I'm finding that what is ruining the fun of it for me is because I am very critical of myself and how I look.
And look specifically.
And how I look, yeah.
Okay.
And so, I've got an image of how I look in my head and how I sound. It's not really so much sound as look. And then I see it and I'm like, oh. And there have been so many times where I'm tempted, like with a reel, I just don't want to record it today because I don't look good.
Oh, man.
Or I want to erase it. Or when I was making the souffle, there was lots of pictures of the back of me because I had a stationary and I'm moving around the kitchen. And I saw it. I'm like, the back of my hair looks like that. And so I know that when we started the season, we talked about fun killers.
Mm-hmm.
And criticism was one of the fun killers. But I think self-criticism.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that is a fun killer. And also, I mean, that plays into, not just being self-conscious of your looks, but self-conscious of not sending a drink back or just not finishing it. What will people think? They'll think I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get into your head like that, I think you can so easily talk yourself out of having fun and talk yourself out of new experiences altogether.
Yes. Yep.
And so I really want to emphasize that I'm really trying to work through that with myself.
Good for you.
And so I will continue to do this reel a day, even if some of them I look like a sea hag.
Oh my gosh.
Which I will think I do. But I know I'm certainly not, I don't think I've ever met anyone who says, I love how I look on camera. Or other than you. I don't really think care, but.
No, the hair thing. Because you remember when I got the haircut that I hated and I talked about it over and over and you're like, it has looked the same to me this whole time.
Right.
So we're very self-critical and finish your thought because I have something on that unless.
No, I think that pretty much was it. It's a challenge to myself to continue to do it, try not to focus too much on it and realize that nobody else is probably that critical of how I look. And if they are, who cares?
Right. Yep, exactly. And see, I think, and I say it with kids too, I know that Isabel likes to do things. Well, princess. We'll use the princess example here. So there's a whole line of princess stuff. You got a phone, you got a purse. I mean, it's all plastic, fake Disney stuff. She, and this was like a shattering moment for me, but she goes, Dad, will you tell everyone that we're buying this for Charlotte, who is my 5-year-old, so that people don't know it's mine? And I'm like, and I absolutely agreed. And I did not say this out loud, but in my head, I'm like, you're losing that essence of imagination. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure, my mom could correct me, I'm pretty sure I was still playing with Ninja Turtles at like 13.
Like yesterday.
I was playing with Yoshi yesterday, ironically, like a little Yoshi. Not important. But that's it. And I knew it was going to happen eventually with kids, but that's what makes me sad. And I think it is that self-consciousness that starts taking away. And I mean, she spent money on these things. She obviously finds them fun. But it was just that self-conscious. And so I think, and this is, I just think this just popped in my head. I think we sabotage our own fun quite a bit.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You get into your head and I mean, it's human nature, but it stinks.
It does.
And it's our society and it is, everything's on camera and people can comment. And I don't know if you, I've got teenage girls.
Not yet.
And
Close.
looking at, I mean, their comments are all pretty positive, but I mean, you look on any social media and so here's something funny. I was looking on, and now I'm not going to be able to remember who it was. It was Patrick Mahomes' wife. Because I did not realize that she was like a influencer and has her own like
Her thing?
Yeah, she does like
I don't know what she does.
Personal training and sells programs, and I think she has her own athleisure wear company, I believe. Anyway, I was on, one of those days where you get down a rabbit hole and you don't understand how you ended up where you ended up. But I was on her social media account and somebody had commented, "Why did Patrick Mahomes marry you? He should have married a supermodel like Tom Brady did."
Oh my gosh.
I mean, and it was just like, and she's a beautiful,
she is.
Seems like a great person. And it was just like, what kind of person would say that?
I don't know.
But then it was funny because, I mean, that made me feel awful and terrible for her. I'm sure she didn't care or even read it. But then there was some guy who every single picture where her feet were in the picture. What beautiful, delicate feet you have. Look at the delicate arches on those feet.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it was so creepy.
That is so
It was so creepy. But the point of that story is no matter who you are, no matter what you look like, people are probably going to say some awful things about you on social media. And as you get more popular and have more people saying, the more it's probably going to happen.
Yep.
And so, you basically have two choices. Grow a thick skin and learn how to, who cares, or jealous, it doesn't mean anything.
Part of fame.
Or don't be a part of social media, which being in the business I'm in, I don't really have that option.
Right. No.
Although I am embracing it much more this year. I have actually avoided a lot of personal social media. And I know that that's a detriment to our company, especially when I'm trying to promote podcasts with me in it. I need to be a little bit more involved in the marketing. But knowing that those things are coming, it's not just going to be me who's critical of myself. There's going to be other people who are too. You really have to be good with yourself here, and you have to do the engagement equity radiating outward. Mm-hmm. It all starts here. If you're not good with yourself here, which is what I'm working on, because me judging myself on my reels is me not, having something not quite right here.
Yeah.
And so I'd better take care of that before or if things start getting more popular and the trolls start coming in.
Yeah,
that's when the trolls come in.
You know what's funny?
I've now quoted 2 Chris Farley movies in one episode. Trolls is not what she says. Do you remember?
I don't. I can't quote movies.
That's when the horrors come in.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do know. I do know what
one time during the war.
So I can relate to the not posting thing, but mine is written post because I'm not as a wordsmithy as you are. And so I will write out something that I want to post and then I will delete it because I'm like, I know this will not sound like I think it sounds like. And so I'll delete it and I won't post. So it is not pictures or videos. It is just written. And I never got into Twitter. And I think that's why, because I can't write anything in 140 characters because that's not how my brain works. And then 2, there's nothing else but your witty words. And I think I am a witty person when I speak. Like I can think of good one-liners and that stuff. But when it comes to writing, then I overanalyze it. Just like you were overanalyzing your hair. I overanalyze when I'm writing. And then I'm like, well, shoot, that's probably going to offend someone. It's not even funny. And then I just delete it. So
what's funny is when I write emails or anything like that, I don't proofread them. I shoot them. And if I realize I made a mistake later, doesn't bother me a bit. Oh. And you know why?
Why?
I know I'm a good writer.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
And so I know I'm a good writer. If I made it doesn't mean that I'm not a bad writer. It means I made a mistake. So obviously my thing is I don't know that I look good on camera or something because I'm using everything to emphasize that.
Yeah.
Whereas if I make a mistake in writing, I don't let that tell me I'm a bad writer. I'm just like, I was in a hurry.
Whatever. The confidence.
Yeah, I have a lot of confidence in in one area, I guess, and not another.
Well, isn't that
That's really how
human
everyone
nature?
is.
The other thing I wanted to talk about, and I said I was going to mention this on the last episode, is phones are a huge
Yes.
fun sucker, is
Yes.
what I learned over all of this, because every guest, or I think every guest, pretty much commented, I'm not on my phone as much, or we make it a point not to be on phones. And we have now opened the door where both our kids have old iPhones now. And I will tell you, my 5-year-old, it was truly, and this was Christmas break. We had way too much time. We were trying to get back in the swing of things after the New Year's. But I mean, there was a day where she was just on, and she was a bear afterwards. And like, we could tell. And now that school's back and running, minus the snow days, that attitude has really disappeared. And I know the whole social media or the on screens, like I get all that. And we haven't had a big challenge in our house overall. But to have adults to children react differently and not positively after being on a phone, or that is kind of their distraction that stopped them from having fun. That was my big takeaway on this. And, I don't know if other phones do this, but iPhones tell you how much screen time.
Yes.
If it's down or up. I really strive now to get it down.
Yeah.
And mainly working hours, I think, is when I'm catching myself more to be like, you don't need to be on this right now.
And so the tough part, especially with the challenges we were doing, we were trying to capture them for social media. And
Yes. Yes.
And that's really tough, because that is a valid argument. Is, well, I want to take a picture of this because, and so Todd and I get in this fight all the time. He's always like, you never take pictures. I'm like, I'm too busy enjoying the moment.
I'm the same way.
And so he takes a lot of pictures, which he loves because he forgets things. So he likes to go back and see them. But then what he does is, and I know it's our kids, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's his friends. He shares them. Well, and I'm like, is it not good enough you have to show people what we're doing right now? Which is kind of weird with him, because he doesn't ever do that on social media. We are not the social media couple.
That's so funny.
We never ever post the fun things we're doing on social media.
Yeah.
But he'll take them and he'll send them to people, and it makes me mad.
Oh, well,
And
because
we get in fights about it.
does it frustrate you because he's sitting there and he's sending them out and all of that, or just the fact that he's sharing it?
It's the meaning behind it. I think the meaning that it says to me is, I'm right here in front of you. We're on vacation and spending special time together, and that's not good enough. You have to bring other people in who aren't even here.
Right.
You can send that to them later. You can send all the pictures to the kids when we get home.
But he'll forget.
And also, it's like, they don't give a shit.
That's
They're
true.
doing their own thing. And I think with him, it's more of a connection thing. And also he wants them to see what a good life we have. I think it comes from a good place.
Of course.
But it comes from a very different place of mine, which is, can we just enjoy this moment together? And why does somebody else have to see what we're doing?
Yeah, no.
But I think that is a big struggle, because now that our phones are our cameras,
Or everything.
it used to be different, that they were completely separate things, and you couldn't get sucked into your disposable camera.
No, you could not.
it
You
was
didn't even
simply
know what was in there.
to take a picture. And so I think that is a struggle, because of course we all like pictures, and we all like looking back on, especially if we have kids, seeing how they've grown.
Yeah.
That is very, very valid. But I think it, again, as most things are in life, fine line.
Fine line. No, I think we'll evolve past it too. Because what I'm seeing is, as our age, we did not have it.
Right.
And then it was discovered, and we were given it with really no rules. Right. And now it's evolved tremendously in a very quick period of time. I would not be shocked if our children got to a point where they're like, we don't use social media anymore. Like, it's just, maybe they'll realize how not personal it can be. And then they'll evolve something different. It's going to be a while. Probably not our kids.
And it's also, you've already started to see the backlash now. I mean, like this book that was prior to the How to Have Fun, How to Break Up with Your Phone. There's more and more coming out about getting off your phone.
Yeah.
Than getting on it. So now there's the flip side of it. So we'll see how that evolves throughout our lifetimes and as our kids grow up. But I definitely think that was an interesting theme throughout all of our guests, and that they just realized that connecting with the people who are right there in front of them
Yeah.
Connecting with a moment was much more important than whatever was going on their phone. And it's hard because not only is it what we see everywhere, everybody's on their phone, but it also has rewired our brains.
Oh, yes.
And so it's not just that it's changing the way your brain operates, and the pleasure seeking and all of that is now coming from here. So don't feel bad if you're having a hard time breaking up with your phone.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't come off that I am like really good at breaking up with my phone with this, because I am not.
But awareness is definitely
it's the step. It's a step in the right direction.
Yep.
Versus in the wrong. And then my last thing is, I also realized that I think you and I surround ourselves with a lot of naturally fun people.
Oh, absolutely. Is that your shout out that you wanted me to
remember? No. Can I do the shout out though? You got any?
No, I think that's true. And I also think you and I radiate a lot of fun.
Yes. Yep.
And not to toot our own horn, but we also tend to draw people into it.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever's around, it's like, we're having fun. We want you to have fun too.
Get on in here. Do you, top 5 strengths, do you have includer in yours? Do you know?
Yes.
Yep. So do I.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
That's just part of that. We want you to be over here having fun with us because we think it's fun.
Yes.
Maybe not everyone agrees.
Whether
with
you
us.
do or not.
Yes, exactly.
Get over here and put a drink in your hand.
Just try it. Okay, can I do my shout out?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to give a shout out to Melissa. I work with Melissa, and she the other day made 2 comments. One, she said, I'm loving the new season that is out. And she said to you, about you, that she can tell you have a passion towards this because she has listened to all of our episodes.
Aww.
And she says she just feels you are dialed in on this one, and she has really enjoyed it. So Melissa, thank you for sticking with us through the good and the bad. We don't have bad, the good and the weird. And I wanted to share that comment with you that she shared because we don't always get to hear the good things that people say.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you, Melissa.
That's my shout out. I
appreciate that. I do. If you think I have passion for this, just wait till the book club.
Oh my gosh. She reads. Maybe she can be in the book club.
Yes. Melissa, reach out.
All right. Well, with that is a wrap on season 4. That one felt like it went fast.
I know.
Well, you throw guests in there, and if you podcast or if you are dabbling or interested, when you have a guest, it takes a lot off of the hosting side.
It really does.
Which is it's good, and I do enjoy that. But then I also enjoy our episodes together too.
Yes, as do I. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you took part in any of the challenges, thank you. We still want to hear about them. And follow our podcast and like, share, do all of the good stuff. And we will be back with the Engaging Life Season 5. And we will also have the Engaging Life Book Club Edition Season 1. Both of those will be coming at you early 2024. So please connect with us on social media so you can hear about when the new episodes are going to drop and give us all of your feedback because we love our listeners and or viewers.
Yep.
And we want to know how we can make this podcast better for you.